our third video in our 3-video series about lending and answering some of your most commonly asked financing questions as you are looking to get into the home market and start your buying search. I am Jen Myers with eXp Realty and Jen Runs Real Estate, and I'm here with Annie Ransom with All Pacific Mortgage,
Hey, Jen.
who is joining us again today to get those questions answered for you. And today we are talking about lending programs because the loan you qualify for is a very individual thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really based on what is happening in your own individual financial life. So
Sure.
Can you just chat with us a little bit about loan programs and how you go about the process of figuring out what is going to be a good fit for a client?
Sure. I think that the process all starts with what a client's goals are.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like to start with what are the goals, and then we evaluate qualifications
Mm-hmm.
so we can help connect the dots between the two.
Okay.
And from there, we identify all the various programs that somebody might qualify for. And that's going to really depend on where those qualifications are and what it is that we're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I think a common thing that comes up when meeting with clients is they think, I can't buy a home unless I have 20% down.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of different programs out there that offer quite a bit of flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
There are some zero down programs. That can depend on where somebody's purchasing. It can depend on, you know, if they qualify for grants and various options in order to help them enter into the real estate market.
Mm-hmm.
With somebody that has really great qualifications and they don't necessarily need to rely on those funds, or they maybe don't qualify for those funds. Usually the minimum down payment is 3 to 3.5%.
Okay.
So there's a lot of flexibility out there to help people get into properties.
Okay.
Yeah. So the number one reason that to purchase real estate that a lot of people don't realize is to lock in your cost of living. So you get some really great perks by having tax write-offs and appreciation. All those things aren't necessarily guaranteed, but locking in that cost of living is the number one piece. So there's lots of different programs that allow people to do that, and it really is going to vary from person to person.
Yep. No, I think that's a great point to make.
Yeah.
Now, with the down payment, the other thing that comes up that we get asked about is mortgage insurance.
Yes.
Because there are instances where if you're not putting 20% down, you might be paying mortgage insurance.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about what that is and
Sure.
how it applies?
Sure. So mortgage insurance is kind of a necessary evil. If it is something that's required, mortgage insurance is an insurance policy that protects the bank against someone defaulting on their loan that they make the buyer pay for, the consumer pay for.
Okay.
Right? So it doesn't do anything for the buyer other than allow them to place less than a 20% down payment. So that is a catch. If you are in that 3 to 3.5% down payment range, you're most likely going to have to pay mortgage insurance.
Yes.
So a lot of programs do allow for the mortgage insurance to be removed once they reach sufficient equity.
Okay.
So a really great lender should be tracking that for their clients so that they can proactively have that policy removed if the program allows for it. There are some programs that require mortgage insurance for the life of the loan.
Okay.
So that's also a really important thing to be mindful of when looking at various programs, identifying the pros and cons between each of them, so that you know your short-term, your long-term investment, and how expensive the program is.
As people are thinking about their mortgage insurance and whether or not they can start to refinance that out, what kind of value is the lender looking for in order to be able to do that?
Sure. So there's a trick. So technically, any investor has to remove the mortgage insurance policy, depending on the program. Again, if you're in a program that mortgage insurance is there for the life of the loan, it's going to be there for the life of the loan. For programs that allow for mortgage insurance to be removed, which would be your standard conventional program, the lender has to remove the policy once they reach a 78% loan versus value.
Okay.
It's based on the original purchase price or the original value and your loan amount.
Okay.
Right? So it's going to take several years for somebody to pay their loan down enough. They're not going to take into consideration the current market value of that home.
Okay.
Now, you can be proactive and request an appraisal so that they will take that into consideration and have the policy removed. Or if you pay down your loan in various chunks, then of course you're going to hit that value a lot faster.
Okay.
Or if you're at 80% or 20% down payment, then of course you don't have to pay mortgage insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's good to know.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you taking time to talk with me. I think it's really important if you are out there and you are thinking about starting this process and wondering what options are available to you and where to get started, reach out to a local lender. I'll be posting Annie's contact information if you would like to reach out to her and ask her questions, because really it is a very individualized process, and having a team working for you and getting you information and sending you in the right direction is going to allow you to have a better chance of success as you start this process. So always feel free to reach out to Annie or reach out to myself if you have additional questions about this process. And we look forward to hearing from you and hope that this allowed you to get started down a road to home ownership. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.